The Gordie Howe International Bridge isn't just another structure. It's a colossal project poised to reshape North America's transportation landscape. Straddling the Detroit River, connecting Windsor, Ontario, and Detroit, Michigan, this engineering marvel is more than its record-breaking span and towering heights. It's a lifeline for trade, a symbol of unity, and a testament to human ambition. But the story of this bridge is one marked by challenges, from bitter legal battles to overcoming logistical nightmares. Let's dive into the journey behind the $6.4 billion Gordie Howe Bridge and discover how it's set to change the way people and goods move across one of the busiest international borders. Back in the early 20th century, crossing the Detroit River wasn't as simple as it is today. Before the Ambassador Bridge was built in 1929, people had to rely on ferries to shuttle across the water. The Detroit River, deep and wide, was great for ships but a headache for anyone trying to cross it on land. At that time, trains dominated transportation, and passengers needed ferries to bridge the gap. That all changed with the completion of the Ambassador Bridge. As cars became the preferred way to get around, Detroit and nearby regions needed a better way to connect people and trade between Canada and the US. Entered the Ambassador Bridge, a pivotal solution that revolutionized cross-border commerce and mobility, handling thousands of vehicles and millions of dollars in goods every day. However, as trade grew, so did the issues. Over 10,000 vehicles use the bridge daily, and it's responsible for nearly $400 million worth of goods crossing between Canada and the US every day. The sheer volume put an enormous strain on this single crossing, leading to traffic bottlenecks, delays, and headaches for businesses relying on seamless cross-border transport. By the time the 2022 blockade stopped trucks in their tracks, it became glaringly obvious. Relying solely on the Ambassador Bridge was no longer sustainable. As the bottlenecks and disruptions grew, it was clear that a new bridge was needed. But there was a catch. The man who owned the Ambassador Bridge, Manuel "Matty" Marone, wasn't thrilled about competition. He fought tooth and nail against the new bridge, filing lawsuits and pushing for an alternative, building another span next to his existing bridge. Critics quickly pointed out that his motives were likely financial, as he didn't want to lose out on tax-free gas sales and other profits. But the idea of adding a second bridge beside the aging structure was fraught with problems, security risks, congestion, and a lack of flexibility. Meanwhile, businesses were growing more anxious as the single bridge continued to struggle under the weight of the increasing trade. By 2035, it's projected that the new Gordie Howe Bridge could bring in about $240 million annually, making it clear that a new option was not just necessary, but inevitable. Despite the roadblocks, the Gordie Howe Bridge project moved forward. Officially proposed in the early 2000s, it took years of planning, legal battles, and environmental assessments to get it off the ground. The Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority, a Canadian federal crown corporation, was established in 2012 to oversee the project. Designed by Eric Barons, the bridge's unique cable stay design stands out with two A-shaped towers reaching 722 feet into the sky. These towers will support 26 cable stays and stretch across a 2,800-foot main span, the longest of any cable-stayed bridge in North America. At its highest point, the bridge rises 151 feet above the river, accommodating 6 lanes of automotive traffic along with a dedicated path for pedestrians and cyclists. On the Canadian side, it connects to the Right Honourable Herb Gray Parkway, which is designed to smoothly feed traffic into the bridge. The parkway itself was a significant project, incorporating 300 acres of green space, 20 kilometers of trails, and innovative designs to protect local wildlife habitats. On the US side, the bridge will link to Interstate 75 with newly reconstructed sections and enhanced local road infrastructure. The bridge's construction faced environmental challenges, particularly in Canada, where concerns about local snake habitats needed careful attention. Biologists worked to relocate the endangered species, implementing specialized fencing to protect the animals while construction progressed. Similar care was taken on the US side, where pedestrian bridges, noise barriers, and extensive landscaping are designed to blend the new infrastructure with the surrounding communities. Building a bridge of this scale is no small feat, and the Gordie Howe International Bridge has faced its fair share of challenges and accomplishments along the way. The first major milestone was reached in July 2020 with the placement of concrete for the tower footings. Over 7,600 cubic meters of concrete were carefully poured over a 6-month period, laying the foundation for the massive bridge towers. These towering legs, which rise 722 feet into the sky, were constructed using cutting-edge techniques designed to counteract the forces of gravity while ensuring long-term stability. By mid-2021, the installation of the critical T1 beam was completed, a major achievement that allowed the structure to withstand the immense horizontal forces it would face as it nears completion. As 2022 rolled in, the project reached another turning point with the lifting of the first deck element on the Canadian side. This task was no small undertaking, particularly given the harsh and corrosive environment near Zog Island's industrial district. To combat this, the bridge's steel components were treated with a specialized three-coat paint designed to last for up to 40 years in such tough conditions. The use of advanced anti-corrosion techniques was crucial in ensuring the bridge's longevity, especially considering the extreme temperature variations and industrial emissions in the area. The journey hasn't been without its financial hurdles. Originally projected to cost $4.4 billion, the project's budget has swelled to $6.4 billion due to a combination of unforeseen complications, delays from the COVID-19 pandemic, and rising inflation. These cost increases have been managed with strategic adjustments, including government commitments to cover additional expenses. Despite the setbacks, the project remains on track, with an anticipated opening date in the fall of 2025, slightly later than the initial target of November 2024. The delay is seen as a necessary trade-off to ensure the highest standards of construction, safety, and environmental stewardship. As the bridge nears completion, focus is now shifting to finalizing the deck and installing the 216 cable stays that will hold the entire structure together. Every step in this project represents a significant leap in both engineering and cross-border cooperation, showcasing what's possible when ambitious goals are met with determination and innovation. The Gordie Howe Bridge is more than just a new crossing. It's a game-changer for both sides of the border. By 2025, it's expected to handle nearly 26,500 vehicles daily, significantly reducing the congestion plaguing the Ambassador Bridge. This increased capacity isn't just about faster travel times. It's about cutting down fuel consumption and emissions, leading to a more sustainable transportation network. The bridge's multi-use path will also be the first legal pedestrian crossing over the Detroit River, connecting local communities on both sides of the border and enhancing access to recreational trails. But perhaps the most profound impact is economic. The construction alone has generated 11 million worker hours, providing a much-needed boost to local economies. Once operational, the bridge will foster cross-border trade, helping businesses expand and tap into new markets. From automotive parts to agricultural goods, the free flow of products will be critical for industries on both sides of the border, ensuring they remain competitive in an increasingly globalized economy. Beyond trade, the bridge also symbolizes international cooperation. At a time when borders are often sources of tension, the Gordie Howe Bridge stands as a reminder of the shared values and mutual benefits of collaboration between Canada and the United States. As the Gordie Howe Bridge nears completion, attention is shifting to the final steps, completing the road deck, installing the 216 cable stays, and ensuring the connection between the two sides is seamless. The bridge is more than just steel and concrete. It represents a brighter future for border crossings, smoother transportation, and a strengthened bond between two nations. Looking forward, the bridge will undoubtedly play a critical role in the region's economy and infrastructure. It's set to become a vital link, not just for goods and people, but for the cultural and economic exchange that has long defined the US-Canada relationship. As industries adapt to new technologies and global shifts, the Gordie Howe Bridge will provide the resilience and flexibility needed to thrive in this evolving landscape. While the timeline to completion has been extended, the additional time allows for further planning and careful implementation of community benefits. From local hiring initiatives to programs supporting small businesses along the construction route, the project is contributing to the social fabric on both sides of the border. This bridge is also setting new standards for environmental sustainability. The infrastructure improvements include features like noise walls, green spaces, and even wildlife crossings that blend the project harmoniously with its surroundings. By focusing on long-term environmental and community impacts, the Gordie Howe Bridge is more than just an engineering project. It's a blueprint for future mega builds worldwide. The Gordie Howe Bridge is more than just an impressive engineering feat. It's a vision of the future, It represents progress, collaboration, and the power of infrastructure to transform communities. As the ribbon-cutting ceremony draws near, the anticipation builds for the new chapter this bridge will bring. From smoother traffic to economic growth, from environmental sustainability to enhanced international relations, the Gordie Howe Bridge is poised to leave a lasting legacy. What do you think about this massive project? Share your thoughts below and stay tuned for more deep dives into the world's most fascinating infrastructure projects. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to the channel to keep up with the latest updates on mega builds shaping our world.